For 13.3 tasks 1 and 2, we're going to be working with that volume, that length times width times height, and finding out how many cubes are inside it, but then we're going to have another step. We might need to compare it to another one or see how many of those we need. So there's going to be more than one step to complete these problems here. So number 1A has this toolbox that is shown, and it wants to just first find the dimensions. So how long is it? So that's our length across the front. How wide is it? That goes back. And then the height of it is how tall it is. So fill those dimensions in there. And then we're going to fill in the formula we would use, right? Length times width times height. So A and B are pretty simple. We're just writing down what we know. Now C, we actually have to do the math here. So I'm going to start and do length times width. So we have 6.8 times 3.4. Let's make sure you are doing that problem. So 8 times 4 is 32. 24 plus 3 is 27. And now we need a placeholder 0. We're done with this 3. So we have 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 6 is 18, 19, 20. So there we have that. And we're going to add these up. There's 11, 3, and 2. If I'm doing 6 times 3, my answer should be close to 18. It has 2 decimal places, so 1, 2 decimal places. So we have found that base of this toolbox is full of 23 and 12 hundredths of a cube. So across the bottom, we could lay 23 and 12 hundredths of a cube, but we need to stack that up 2.3 times. So now we need to take 23 and 12 hundredths and multiply that by the height of 2.3. So I'm going to let you go ahead and do that. So times everything by 3. Then put your placeholder times everything by 2. Don't forget to move your decimal point 1, 2, 3 places. And your answer should be between 50 and 60. So that's just the same number you're going to put here and here. So it's cubic inches or inches cubed. So 23 and 12 hundredths times 2 and 3/10 will find you the volume of that whole box. So this is 23.12 inches cubed. So same thing, 23.12 cubic inches is the same thing as inches cubed. This is just written out. This is the shortened version with that 3 there. Okay, now Lion wants to paint the toolbox and he needs to know the surface area. So now we're switching gears and doing surface area. So right, the same shape, we can find the outside, the flat parts, and we can find how much it can fit inside. So here was the inside. Now surface area is the outside of that. So this first one, we have this front. It's 2.3. So we have this. Let me find a color we can see here. So that's not 2.3. It's 6.8 across. So we have 6.8 is here. And the height of it is 2.3. So we're going to multiply 6 times 8 times 2.3 and put that there. Now we have this side here, 3.4 back, and it goes up 2.3. And then we have the top and the bottom, so it goes back 3.4, and the length of it is 6.8. So we've got to multiply all the different ones together to find that surface area. So 3.4 times 6.8 we're going to put there. 3.4 times 2.3 we'll put here. And 6.8 times 2.3 we put here. Now we have 2 of these, so we need to double that. We have 2 of these, double that. And 2 of these, right? We have a front and a back, a right and a left, a top and a bottom. So this found the area of 1, but now we need to double each of them. So double, double, double. And then we're just adding those all together to find our surface area. So that should get you through there. So go ahead and do that math and find the square inches. Now E says that a tube of paint covers 40 square inches. So it wants to know how many tubes of paint we should buy. So we're going to take our total square inches and we're going to divide that by 40. Now we need to think of how many they need to buy, because if we have a remainder, so let's just say that we were buying, that our surface area was 13 and we wanted to divide by 4. If I do this division here, that goes in there 3 times, but there's 1/4 left over. There's still something left, and that's going to be unpainted. So if you have a remainder, we actually need to round this number up. So instead of buying 3 tubes, I need to buy 4. So take the square inches, divide it by 40, but in order to cover the whole thing and not have part of it unpainted, you need to round your number up to the next whole number. Because you can't just go to the store and be like, I just would like to buy 1/4 of a can of paint. Like, how are you going to leave with 1/4? No, like you buy the whole can and you use what you need. You can't just be like, oh, I just need like a tiny bit. You have to buy the whole thing. So you've got to round up to make sure that you have enough there.